So, yeah, I'm sure by now, Ivan, you've heard that some people are heading to court over legal vacations.
Yeah.
Solo doesn't go on vacation. He has documents he is dealing with. What's going on? Is it the case that, some people are being too entitled about this whole legal vacation, or it's grounded in law? Because the Ghana Bar Association is, in fact, writing to the Chief Justice and asking the Chief Justice to reconsider his decision and to retain some of the cases that are already going on in court and for them to proceed even when there is legal vacation. The lawyers of some of these accused individuals are saying, we won't show up in court. That's what we know.
Yeah, let me say good morning. I think yesterday I was telling a friend that some of our old politicians, those who graduated from the 1992 politics, must begin to appreciate that the political landscape has entirely changed and that the average Ghanaian is a bit enlightened as compared to the previous days. So if you want to stifle a conversation or a national conversation, you must make sure that element of reasoning and common sense to a certain extent is not disentangled from whatever argument you're putting forward, because in as much as whoever you think you are, the average and the ordinary Ghanaian will subject everything that you say to critical scrutiny. They will analyze it and seek to make informed decision out of that. Right. So you cannot just pen mere partisan propaganda in a bit to sway the people. That kind of argument will not fly. First of all, they say legal vacation. I think the construct itself is poor. There is nothing called legal vacation. Yes, there is nothing called legal vacation, because this whole thing is something that is crafted out of tradition. You know, it's a long-standing tradition, so it is a byproduct of tradition and history, started somewhere in the UK. They have designated their legal calendar into a bit of four areas. They have the Michaelis, they have the Hilary, they have Easter, and then they have Trinity. So post-Trinity, you have the vacation for the judiciary. And clearly, when the Attorney General of UK in 1882 was brought before Parliament and he was to justify why judges should go on break, he made it quite clear that because of brain strain, judges need a particular period of respite just to take a break from all the pressure. So from history and from tradition, this whole design is for judges, not for lawyers. The only reason lawyers come in is because they appear before the bench. If judges are going on break, naturally you have that particular break. So this particular holiday in question has never been for lawyers. So it is wrong for...
Lawyers don't go through psychological strain? You don't think so?
No. Because
we did all of these documents.
No, you see, we are making a mistake because people have assumed that the only job for a lawyer is going to court. That is wrong, because we have lawyers within the corporate world. Multimedia, I'm sure you have lawyers here. During this vacation, do they take a leave? They work, you understand? So it is only for those who appear before judges. Okay. The holiday is not for lawyers, because there are lawyers within the corporate setting. If you go to Ghana Commercial Bank, if you go to University of Ghana, if you come to...
they are working, you see.
They all have lawyers and they are working.
I only know of the ones working here at Joe.
Exactly, so that is a clear indication that the holiday, that thing cannot be called legal vacation. Cannot be called legal vacation, but it is a vacation for the judiciary, of which lawyers, because they appear before the bench, enjoy. But you cannot claim that that is your holiday, and for that matter, everything should just shut down. And again, when we talk about this judicial vacation, it can never be interpreted to mean a complete shutdown, a complete absence of judicial intervention within a society. Because we live in a social environment where cases and those kind of stuff keep coming up every day. So you cannot just say that because there is a vacation, everybody should go to sleep. And I think that particular conversation has even been settled. Then let's pushing the propaganda aspect of this whole thing. They are seeking to create a certain impression that Chief Justice has deliberately assigned cases that relate to some prominent people within the NPP to some judges to hear those cases. That is another big lie. You see, the Chief Justice is not assigning cases. He is rather assigning judges and a court. So the judge who will be retained as a vacation judge in this particular instance will have the room to go to other courts to review at some cases, not a substantive case, but motions, maybe interrogatory injunctions. But when it comes to the judge who is sitting, the major cases on his table, he has every right to seek to it as some of these cases are adjudicated. So in all this conversation, none of these people, apart from the emotional argument that has been activated and the partisan propaganda that has been activated, none of them has been able to premise any of the argument on anything substantial that warrant any kind of intellectual conversation for us to have aside the propaganda. Then Ghana Bar Association weighed in with this sort of appeal to the Chief Justice. And my point is that, what is the point of law? What is the argument that Ghana Bar Association is seeking to put forward, apart from the usual propaganda? You see, this is a group that is a bit revered, you know, because you are representing lawyers and those kind of, some of these propaganda you don't need to dabble in, because if you want something to be done and you think the Chief Justice has done something wrong, then you bring forward that particular infraction that has been committed, then we can have that particular debate. But you cannot just hide behind some of these propaganda, partisan kind of illustrations just to put forward and create a certain impression that somebody is deliberately doing something wrong. As it stands now, for me, this is a tradition that we have adopted. And over the years, we've been practicing, you understand? And within this period, judges do sit. There are write-up and documents available, which gives an indication that during Tokono's time, judges were assigned. Okay, so what has changed? Yes, you can ask me a question.
So of all the cases, that we have within the system, why is it that lawyer Atachere's case is so interesting, of importance to the judiciary, for which the judge says, I don't want to go home, I don't want to go on vacation, I want to finish that case?
Yes, and you need to also find out that particular judge, it is not only Atacheere and other guys who are appearing before him. There are several other cases, all because they don't have names, because there are civil cases pending before the judge.
You mean for this same judge?
Exactly. There are several other cases, because the judge cannot sit for the sake of a single case or two cases. The judge is adjudicating several other cases, of which Atacheere and co are part of it. These are mere political partisan propaganda that is being around.
Must be a workaholic, is it?
No. The point is that, look at the flip side of this whole conversation.
He's working around the clock.
No, look at the flip side of this whole conversation. Let us assume that Hanan and the other guys are coming from prison custody to attend what you call this adjudication trial, this trial. Then would they be asking for a speedy trial, or the judge should just go on break so that the guys will stay in prison? Does it even make sense? And there were people who were quoting sections in CI 47. I think that is quite funny, because CI 47 deals...
The Ghana Bar Association.
The CI 47 deal with civil cases. The judge, what is before the judge, is a criminal case. And the Constitution has made it quite clear that when it comes to some of these cases, there must be speedy, how do you call it, adjudication or trial, because the person might be in custody and you might not want to keep that particular person there for a very long time. For all you know, he might be innocent, you understand? So there must be that speedy trial. So what the Chief Justice is doing, he's not in contravention with any law, you understand? He's not in contravention, or he has not done
what I'm asking is the clarity in why these cases and why these judges. Is it coincidence?
I'm saying that the Chief Justice decided to stay a judge.
Yes, he's performing his constitutional duty. No problem about that. My question to you is,
your question.
Why can't we tear into this whole black box and know what is informing the decision of this Chief Justice?
But the question would have been legitimate if he's the only judge sitting. As we speak now, there are several other judges who are sitting. Why are people not complaining? And the other judges who are sitting, they are not hearing cases of animals. They are hearing cases of human beings, or they don't have the relative, they don't have people who can speak for them. Atacheere, he's only speaking for his client. What about others who are also appearing before other judges? I think the hypocrisy is very nauseating and very annoying. Hypocrisy. And the last time I sat here and I told you, you see, this is the kind of funny tactics that the previous lawyer in Wuntumi's case, those kind of tactics that he did. Eventually, his client is in jail. If you look at Atacheere today, he has become a celebrity all over on media, granting interviews. He cares less about the case that he is attending to, because you see, for the judge, he's waiting for them.
No, the man is telling you that he's on vacation. Why would you force him to go to court then?
No, nobody can force him. Because I remember in the last time I referenced the Chachu Chikate's case. When he went there and he said his lawyer also on vacation because that period they were on vacation.
Yes.
The judge quoted that the article in the Constitution which says that you have a right to a lawyer does not mean that you have a right to a particular lawyer. Lawyers are plenty. You can go outside and pick one.
Oh, just as judges.
Exactly.
In fact, we have more lawyers.
More lawyers, and he even insisted that Chachu himself is a lawyer, so he could defend himself. You see, so what has changed?
Are you insinuating that there are more I don't want to use the word more refined or more senior lawyers than this?
No.
Are you trying to question?
No, this guy is just spinning political propaganda. And it's unfortunate we are using precious time to disguise some of these things because for me, this is one of the most unwitty conversations to occupy television time and those kind of stuff. Because there is no substance in this whole argument. Because none of these guys have been able to premise. None of these guys have been able to premise their conversation anything reasonable, anything substantial. My point is that bring forward the legal infractions, the prohibitions, and everything. Then we can have that particular conversation. But until that is done, anything that they say remains mere emotional kind of conversation that we cannot allow these people to push down our throat. Bring forward what has been done. If the Chief Justice has in any way exceeded his powers, or he has contravened any of the established rules of engagement, or you know deliberately that he's engaging in partisan propaganda, or deliberately using the law as a tool to punish some individuals, we can have that particular conversation. But where you have...
There's a second leg to the conversation.
My worry is where the Ghana Bar Association comes into this whole
we'll get to that. I want us to also look at even the whole demand from the Supreme Court. So we'll get into that. But let's
finish.
Yes.
I'm saying that there is nothing called legal vacation. That is a vacation for the judiciary. Historically and traditionally, that is how it all started. So let us not seek to push this erroneous kind of construct that will create a certain wrong impression that there is something called legal vacation for lawyers. There is nothing like that because there are lawyers today who are in corporate firms, who are in corporate environment working. They know no holidays. It is only those who go to court because the holiday is for judges. It is not for lawyers to claim anything legitimacy.
But there's a link between lawyers and judges. So obviously, if the judges are going on,
there is a link, but not direct link.
I see. Solo, I'll come to you, Julius. But Solo, you were about making a point that this whole vacation thing is surprising you. Are you surprised because the whole process is in court? You are not too familiar with it. Probably you are not a member of the bar. So the Ghana Bar Association. They've issued a statement. Have you seen the statement?
I read it. I read it and blessed. You see, the last time we were told by the judiciary or the Chief Justice that our court had about 30,000 cases.
Outstanding cases.
Outstanding cases.
Yes.
What Upon Nkrumah and Co have done suggests to me there are cases, a lot of them that have to be thrown into the garbage. That they are just wasting the cost time. They are just piling cases there just to add up to the numbers. Either than that, the Ghana Bar Association, the statement that they issued, they were not talking law. Say traditions, conventions. But does conventions and traditions supersede laws?
Oh, but you don't see the CI they were referring to.
But the CI is clear. Let's go into the CI. Let's go there. That even makes it makes the matters worse.
Maybe it's a civil procedure.
You know, the CI 47 was order 79.
So you are quoting the document to me.
Yeah, you see, that is why I always bring them.
You always have.
When I want to refer to that document on the phone, your internet is disappointed.
I know.
But you have it. You give it. Read it for me. CI 47. Fantastic.
Solo, you have to go digital. All these documents you bring into the studio.
I would have referred.
You are intimidating me, Solo. It's not fair, but you go.
Viewers, forgive me. I didn't print this one.
Okay. Next time you print this.
Order 79.
Yes.
Listen to what their own rules of engagement says. Rule 1.
Yes.
The title days and hours of sitting. 1. Subject to the Courts Act 1993, Act 459, as amended, the Chief Justice may appoint any day, including vacations, for the hearing of causes or matters as circumstances require.
So that's what we have on the screen.
Good word, producer.
So for a minute I thought Solo you were
No, how can I do that? I have never done.
No, because you know you're not a lawyer, so I was scared.
Let me tell you something about this whole business of being a lawyer, Any law that is so ambiguous to the ordinary man is not a law. Because the law is coming to regulate human beings.
Okay, so it must be clear.
It must be clear. It must be clear. It must be understood by every ordinary person on the street. So don't let anybody come and confuse you. Hey, lawyer. Stop that. This is so clear. What is so ambiguous about this? Now the GBA that is supposed to be made up of lawyers, that must be understanding law. You see, I told you that when they come and speak, not that they are speaking any law anyway. They rely on the Rule 4. And listen to what the Rule 4 says.
Okay.
Subject to Rule 1 of 1. That is, whatever you are going to say here must be subject to what is stated in Order 79, Rule 1. The following periods shall be observed in the High Court as vacations. So if the Chief Justice directs or issues a warrant that some cases must go on during the vacation, no law under the sun can override that. And so I was very surprised to hear from people made up of lawyers go write a petition to the Chief Justice that per convention and not per any laws, the decision of the Chief Justice must be withdrawn. I was scandalized. But if the Ghana Bar Association will listen to me this morning, let me give them a historical background as why we have NAGRAT, we have NAT, and we have concerned teachers. You know, in the early 80s and 90s coming to 2000, we had only one teacher union called the National Association of Teachers, NAT. When they spoke in this country, everybody shivered. Now they started doing politics with that body called NAT, and that infuriated a lot of the members of that body. So immediately, there was a splinter group out of it called the National Association of Graduate Teachers. So they came out of NAT, further reducing the power, the bargaining power of NAT. Now then, NAGRAT also came in. People saw that, look, you are also trying to do politics. Then another group also came out of it called concerned teachers. So which teacher is not concerned? Every teacher is concerned. But they came with the concerned teachers. So as we speak, the teacher unions or the teacher body has a lot of splinter groups. So they are unable to do things together. That is precisely what I see with this Ghana Bar Association. Remember the Tokonu case? One fine Saturday, nobody had called them to do anything. All of a sudden, they say extraordinary GBA meeting or conference. Where were they hosting it? Labadi Beach. Have you been to Labadi Beach on Saturday before? That is where your own DJ Black. You go there, the spinners are spinning. These people went and danced. After eating, they came to tell us that they have voted that the Chief Justice or the President must withdraw his decision to suspend the Chief Justice. When it was written black and white in the Constitution that the President had that power. As we speak, where is Tokonu? Is Tokonu not in the house? By following these Ghana Bar Association people, Tokonu is home.
So are you warning Lawyer Atta?
Let me say, Lawyer Atta in 2000, were you not in this country? You know the time that he went to court? During the runoff. You know, in 2008 election, during the 2008 election, when we were about going to time, the NPP went to court. What time did he go to court? That time, was it a vacation or not? Where the judges sitting, he was the one that even first introduced this CI 47 or the 79, that the Chief Justice had the power to cause judges to sit on irregular days to hear a matter.
Including holidays.
This was attached in 2008. You see, the internet, social media is not friendly to politicians that are not straightforward to us.
The psychological stress, he's been working all year round, and you still want to force him to go to court.
If there is anybody that is causing psychological damage and stress to the client, here at Dubois and Hanan, it is Atta. What they are doing is so dangerous to the stability of these people. Can you imagine, Blessed, that you are the one facing the criminal prosecution? Now,
So why do you plan to prosecute me or something?
No, maybe one day.
No, don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try that.
But can you imagine that Adubwa is facing a criminal prosecution? Now, Atacha is in court saying that the sort of allegations that leveled on Adubwa are all false. Is that not the case? So it must be in the interest of what? Atacha that the case is tried expeditiously, so that the client is relieved of all these charges, so that he and the wife can go to their homes and have their freedom. So they must rather be thankful to the Chief Justice for saying that, look, we want to dispense with this matter as quickly as possible. By saying that you cannot sit or you cannot take part in the case during vacation, does it suggest to me, he is suggesting to me that he does not have confidence in his own case. That is why he's trying to play the late tactics.
He's never said that.
He doesn't tell me.
And what Ivan was saying, for instance, yes, it makes sense, isn't it? That you've been working all year round. You could even break down if you don't take some level of vacation. Look,
so if you are to go
in the Hanan case, for instance, we're told by the media that even our former Attorney General is not feeling fine. He's been in and out of the hospital.
Well, he has been granting interviews all of the time.
It's not true. It's all because of the stress, brother. He's been dealing with so many cases.
If you want rest, you can go to transitions and book for...
Anthony, go to... Anthony, go to Order 75 for me.
Order
75 and read the last...
So why are you quoting...
No, because you see...
Intimidate people.
No, they are lawyers, and I'm expecting them to behave within the confines of the law. You see, when you go to 75, the last May, the last, is it II or something? Rule 4. What is there for?
Let me see, the last rule there.
So he's not feeling well. The man is not feeling well.
No, let me tell you something. When you are taken to court, there is no law that says that compulsorily you must have a lawyer representing you. And this is captured in the Order 75.
Rule 8.
Rule 8. You may represent yourself. And that is why when lawyers issue statements or they are issuing any rate, they say on the instructions of their client. You understand? The client is the one that is instructing you. So whatever you are doing, you are acting on behalf of somebody. Is Atacha saying that all that he is doing, he has the instructions of Adubwa. And if he has the instructions of Adubwa, so Adubwa feels that or believes that he doesn't have a good case, so it must be dragged. Is that the impression that they are creating to us? Okay. The last Saturday we came here, we referred to why they went on demonstration. You know, this was one of the reasons why they went on demonstration. They copiously stated it that because the judges were going to sit during vacation, the NPP must demonstrate when you are not supported by any competent law.
Okay.
What is this?
So
where are these people taking us to?
Anyway.
How can it be anywhere when people are blatantly flouting the laws of this land under the guise of democracy? Why? And this is now a subject matter for us to discuss? Oh, I am saddened. This one, I don't envy any of those.
Which of the bar associations do you belong to?
You know, the bar at Dov Kandishi. Okay. There's a bar at Dov Kandishi.
Yes, a drinking.
That is why the Afiamapo group, you know, they also have the association.
Law Society.
Law Society. Yeah. And I'm telling you that's why I gave you the history of NAT.
Okay.
Very soon you have different
no, we are not praying
bodies. When people have started doing politics with this, to get to that point.
Let me bring Julius in, because already people are heading to court over this. The vacation, whichever way, you need vacations, you know, just to refresh and come back stronger.
Who exactly?
Who needs a vacation?
Yeah.
But you go on vacation. You've been a student before. You are still a student. Don't you go on vacation?
We are talking about lawyers, not students. So who exactly needs a vacation?
Oh, okay. In terms of
let me tell you something, Blessed.
Yeah.
All the people who are involved in this business, especially because they are led by the learned Atacha, I assume that it is not a matter of ignorance of the law. Because the learned Atacha cannot be ignorant on any matter of law. And all the things he is saying is not law, it is politics. And we must be willing to distinguish between when a political lawyer is being a politician instead of being a lawyer in a case. We must be able to distinguish that. It is different from, you know,
genuine ignorance of law. That's not what the case of the learned Atachian is. And all the things he's doing, I call it weaponized ignorance. You pretend you don't know something to achieve a particular purpose. It is weaponized ignorance in his case. Even if you look at the GBA statement, the GBA, and pay particular attention, the GBA leadership, not the GBA as a whole, the GBA leadership is serving as a conduit for advancing the New Patriotic Party's political purposes. And my reasons, and pay attention. I didn't say the GBA, I said the GBA leadership is serving as a conduit for propagating the position of the New Patriotic Party. That is why they are unable to refer you to any law which says that lawyers are entitled to vacation so much as to make them claim that they will not hear a case. And then they also argue that it is only procedural cases, applications, and all of those things that judges hear during legal vacations. That is because the judges choose to do so, not because the law says so. And so for our purposes, I would want to take us through the law in order before I address the hypocrisy of the New Patriotic Party. What law?
Wait.
Oh, it is. Lawyer Atacha is doing NPP politics.
Okay, I thought you were referring to the bar.
Even the GBA. I've already stated that the leadership of the GBA is simply serving as a conduit to advance the views of the New Patriotic Party.
That's true.
And everything they are doing is not law, it's politics.
And you want me to be comfortable with that?
Why? Why will you be uncomfortable? Why are you always uncomfortable with my views? Why are you uncomfortable? Why are you uncomfortable on behalf of somebody else?
Individuals are comfortable.
Why are you uncomfortable? Why are you uncomfortable on behalf of somebody else?
No, but you see, when you
don't be uncomfortable, Blessed. Allow me to make the point. Don't be. I have not. I have said that the GBA leadership from all indications, is serving as a conduit to advance the views of the New Patriotic Party and not law. And for our purposes, let's go into what the law is. Legal vacation and the concept of it traces its route to Section 82G of the Court Act. And if you read Section 82G of the Court Act, it says that by the rules of court, provisions will be made for vacation. Is simply put, that is what it is. And so now we will go to the rules of court. The rules of court in this case is what do you call it? The High Court Civil Procedure Rules. And when you go to the High Court Civil Procedure Rules, you must read Order 79. The most important ones for our purposes is Rule 1 and Rule 4. And it is important we follow this chronologically. Rule 1, and my audience, please pay close attention, because at the end of this business, I want us to be able to identify if the law allows for judges to hear cases during vacation or not. I want us to be able to identify if the law says that the judges can only hear applications and not go into substantive matters. I want us to be able to conclude on all those issues at the end of the day. So pay close attention. Rule 1.1. It says, subject to the Court Act. And you would realize that from the outset, I say that it traces its route from the Court Act, which is why I read, Section 80. Subject to the Court Act 1992, Act 459, as amended, the Chief Justice may appoint any day, including vacations, for the hearing of causes or matters as circumstances may require. Ask any lawyer, you my listeners, the meaning of causes or matters.
But Solo
causes. No. He hasn't. Blessed, please don't ruin the trend. Let people be able to understand. Please. Ask any lawyer. You don't even need to ask any lawyer. You all have Google and ChatGPT or whatever search app you have to search the meaning of causes or matters when it comes to law. It is a substantive issue. When you go to law school, the first things you learn, the preliminary things, cause of action, causes or matters are the substantive issues, not procedure. The law didn't say that they should deal with only procedural applications and all of those things. So on that point, pay attention closely. That is Rule 1.1. Now we will go to Rule 1. Order 79, Rule 4. It says that subject to Rule 1.1. Do you see the language of Rule 4? Subject to, anytime they say something is subject to, it means it is subservient to, it is a servant of the other. And so it cannot do anything that is contrary to what the other has said. It says subject to Rule 1.1. the following period shall be observed in the High Court as vacations. A, the period commencing on Tuesday immediately following Easter in each year and ending on Friday immediately following. B, the period commencing on 1st August in each year and ending on 30th September in each year. Pay attention. Shall be observed in the High Court as vacations. It is the court. The vacation is for the court. The period shall be observed in the High Court. And he says that what? Subject to Rule 1. And then Rule 4 is subservient to Rule 1. And Rule 1 is saying that what? The Chief Justice may order for any case to be heard, including in vacations. And he says what? Causes or matters. Not preliminary proceedings. Not applications. So when you follow, on the very basis of the law, there is no argument to suggest that substantive cases cannot be heard unless the learned Atachian has a different definition for causes or matters before the court, which limits it only to preliminary issues. Now, they proceed from there to argue that there are norms, conventions, which is literally what the GBA is saying, not law. There is something we call hierarchy of norms or hierarchy of laws. If you look at Article 18 of the 1992 Constitution, conventions does not even make it there. Customs make it. Conventions are close to customs. So for their purposes, I will be charitable and even equate it to customs. And says you should rate customs in lines with rules and regulations under Article 11 and see which of them takes precedence over the other. Rules and regulations take precedence over customs. Under Article 11. So you cannot be citing conventions when there is a clear rule of law for us to deal with. And in any case, it is not even a convention. For something to be convention so much as to have the force of law, we all agree, and I think in the public international law, we all learn that there must be a uniform practice and opinion juris. Uniform practice means that it is done so uniformly. People have agreed to it. Opinion juris is that the people have come to accept the thing so much that it serves as a force of law. For example, if I say that the Bataclan of Anglo is patrilineal, it is a convention that has attained the force of law that you can't even go and question it. Yeah. If I say the Oyoko clan of Ashanti is matrilineal, it is a convention that has attained the force of law that you can't change it. But what they are talking about, has it attained the force of law for it to, be called a convention? No. The reason is because there is a plethora of evidence to show that in legal vacations, trials have been conducted. Indeed, in 2023, the Honorable Lady Chief Justice, as she then was, Gertrude Tokono, assigned 26 courts to hear cases during the legal vacation. So they can't even make the claim of a uniform practice existing. Indeed, we have case law that suggests that cases have been heard during legal vacation in Ghana. And for our purposes, I'll refer you to the case of Boydo and another.
I get that. But I was just going to bring your attention. That's not really under contention.
It is under contention. It is under contention. The GBA is saying that a convention exists, and for that matter, the Chief Justice should not exercise.
I get that. But primarily, what ultimately, that is what they are saying. What ultimately, and of course, you've all established that point. Ultimately, what's under contention is the administrative power being used by the Chief Justice. Out of so many cases, why these particular cases? I guess that's what's not. Did you read the warrant? Did you read the warrant that the Chief Justice gave to the judges? Well, I don't work at the court, so probably you have.
I assume that in your position you would read it.
Well, I don't have the benefit of that.
Enriching the conversation.
Do you have it?
No, but the warrant does not mention cases. The warrant.
But I'm saying, do you have it? Do you have the warrant? That's what I'm saying. Have you seen the warrant yourself? Yeah.
I'm saying that the warrant does not mention cases. The warrant, pursuant to Order 79, Rule 1, gives judges or courts authority to hear cases at any time.
That's what I'm saying.
The legal
that's exactly my point. My point is,
if you are saying that of all the cases, I'm asking you which cases.
No,
the Chief Justice does not give warrants for cases. He gives warrants to courts and judges.
Yes, but the judges sit on cases. That's the point.
Yes, so your argument that of all the cases is immaterial because it is a judge and a court that has been giving warrants to hear cases within their domain.
Just hold on and listen to the question.
So if you say all the cases, what case?
No, hold on and listen to the question.
What case did the Chief Justice give the warrant for?
By reasoning mere reasoning, if you give a warrant to a judge,
yes,
you are by extension giving a warrant to that judge to listen to a case.
No, not a case. All the cases that come before that judge.
Yes, that's what that's exactly. Yes, I'm granting you that. I'm granting you that. But hold on.
Do you have all the people whose case are before that judge complaining?
Yes, but can you listen to?
We have only politicians complaining. Let me tell you.
Can you come down?
You journalists
what I'm asking you.
You journalists have contributed to this situation where politicians think they are special.
No, but I should ask.
You have contributed to that.
My job is to ask questions.
No, you are saying that why that particular case, and I'm saying that it's not the case.
No, my question to you.
Judge who is giving a warrant.
Let's make progress.
Yes, but let's make progress anyway.
Let's make progress.
Anyway, I think we should just move into the matter.
Oh, no, I've not concluded my point.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't say what
I was going to ask you the question, but yeah, because you are not allowed.
No. The question you asked me is that why that particular case, and I'm saying that.
I'm not saying
the warrant of the Chief Justice does not name cases.
Hold on, and let me land with a question so you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying if you give a warrant to a judge, you are by extension giving a warrant to a case. For
it is not a case. That's what I'm telling you.
It may be more than one case.
Yes.
It may be more than one case.
The warrant is by a judge in that court, not a case.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me explain my question to you. So my point to you is that if you give a warrant to, say, maybe just 14 vacation judges, you are excluding other cases, invariably. That's what I'm telling you.
And the law says that when there is vacation,
but can you hold on and listen to the question?
Assign any court.
Yes, but can you? Yes, but can you listen to the question? There's an administrative justice issue going on here. You are exercising administrative power. The question to you is, why, on what basis are you precluding the other judges from listening to other cases?
Why? The vacation
so
is...
that's a legitimate question that people can ask.
The vacation is supposed to be general. And the Chief Justice... Oh, please. You've asked the question now. Can I answer it?
You
answer it.
Yeah, right.
The vacation is supposed to be general. Not so. And exceptional cases are where the Chief Justice have the right to allow some courts to proceed. Not so. When the Chief Justice is going to allow courts and judges, he gives warrants to courts and judges, not cases. And so Solo, if you were a judge, could have been randomly assigned by the Chief Justice.
Yes, that's random nature.
You've asked the question, let me answer. You've asked the question, you said we should allow you to ask the question. And you've asked, and let me answer. Let me answer. Solo, if you were a judge, would have been assigned by the Chief Justice. All cases that are before him, he now has the right to hear. If you don't want the case to be heard between the period, you must come to the judge and seek an adjournment. You don't take issues with the Chief Justice and say that, why is it that my case is before this judge and this judge has been assigned to hear? Why? By what rights do you determine which judges should be given warrant? That is the question. By what rights do you determine which judges should be given a warrant?
It's being paid by the taxpayer. We have to question it.
So it means that you determine which judges are given a warrant.
That can be questioned.
Really? Are you really happy with what you are saying? That the Chief Justice should now come and listen to you and me?
He has to.
No.
We're Ghanaians. We pay.
No.
He's a public servant. So
my brother,
I'm saying that transparency.
This argument that transparency on what basis?
On what basis? But let's make progress.
On basis of the law. The law says that the Chief Justice, you exercise the discretion to assign courts, including during legal vacations, to hear cases. So if you begin saying things like taxpayer and all of those things, I wonder how it comes in.
It comes in.
It doesn't.
Because discretionary power is not for free.
And you are not able to demonstrate before us here now that there is any case of capricious exercise of that discretion. You are making claims which are actually even unfounded. The claim is not that the Chief Justice assigned cases. The Chief Justice assigned courts and judges. So by what right do you say that? By what right do you say that? Oh, simply because your case is before a particular judge, the Chief Justice should not allow that judge to sit morning
that we cannot.
By what authority?
Let's make progress. I'm just saying.
What?
I'm just saying that. Let's make progress. But I'm just saying that you cannot discount legitimate questions around discretionary power. You can't discount that.
What's the question?
So my question is, what is informing the Chief Justice's decision to preclude other cases against some of these cases that are politically exposed?
Again, you are wrong. I am saying that the Chief Justice does not assign cases. The Chief Justice warrants courts and judges to sit.
Judges
So you are joining a deliberate misinformation.
That's not the point.
You are joining a deliberate misinformation. The Chief Justice assigns judges and courts.
Yes, but judges sit on cases.
No,
it's okay. Let's just hold on. Let's move.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.